Well, we've got another day, and this time around, we're going to be doing things a little more conventionally. We've got a coach tour on our hands. Fortunately, it seems we don't need our Suica cards on this bus. And as usual, we've perched ourselves in the back of the bus. Not that we really need to be, because as you can see, we've got 15 of us in a bus that's meant for probably about 40. Oh, and yes, it has a chandelier of sorts in here. It's not as fancy as the one in Busan, but it is so much better than public transportation. I won't say that we're at our first stop of the day, but we're making our way there anyway. I assumed that interesting building behind us was the Jigokudori, I think that's right, Jigokudori Monkey Park, but I think that's just the entrance? I'm not really sure. And again, I should not be pontificating about things I know nothing about. We do have to walk for about 30 or 40 minutes to get to where we really want to go. But like I said, I thought this was some sort of landmark behind us. You've got to be impressed by some of the homes that they have around here. I love the balcony on this place. It's a pity that they don't build homes like this back in the States. Then again, it's entirely possible that there's no way to build something like that that's amenable to our building codes. Well, at least we know we're on the right track. Based on that sign, we've got just under a couple of kilometers to get there. So just a little bit more than a mile. Something paradoxical about this, we've made it to the entrance and it still says we've got 1.6 kilometers to go. I'm not sure if that's the route inside or not, but we're about to find out. The snow is just starting to melt around here, and so everything's just a little bit muddy at the moment. It's nothing I haven't dealt with in Harm's Woods. Well, the angle of the incline is new, but otherwise. Of course, one other difference is that there's something of a drop-off on the side end. No guardrails, so you have to be careful walking here. Between the mud, the slipperiness, and that drop-off, everybody's starting to take bets as to who's going to eat it first. The further along we go in the park, the further we get separated throughout the path. It's a long one, too. So I wonder how much longer before we lose sight of everybody. And actually, I think I'm in the middle of the pack, but you know, when you're so far from anyone ahead or behind you, you really have no idea. We haven't even gotten to the monkeys yet. We haven't even gotten to the entrance, I guess. I confess that I think Mars would be disappointed in me for not looking around and observing everything as I'm passing through these woods going up this mountain. But I have to admit that I'm trying too hard to make sure that I don't get my feet too muddy and don't slip to really observe what's going on around me, which is another good reason to film, because then I can look at this later and go, wow, it really was something, and I wasn't paying any attention to it. Just a quick reminder that we are not supposed to feed the monkeys, because obviously if you have any food, they will take it for themselves without your help. And after, honestly, I don't know how long we've been walking. Not terribly long, but long enough to feel like a while. Everything finally opens up. And we're in the middle of a sun-washed area, free from some trees, and we have a little village here behind us. I guess this is the park. The runoff from the mountain melt comes through this stream, and I'll be honest, you can smell just a little bit of sulfur in here. I suspect that may be why the place is called Jigokudori. I don't know about the Dani part, but Jigoku is definitely hell. And yeah, the smell is about right for that. It's not overpowering, but it's there. And from here it gets that much steeper. Up until this point, we've been just walking on a straight path. Here we're gonna start mounting stairs. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film much of this. And some of the monkeys are right out here. You can just barely see them at this distance. This might be a little difficult, seeing as I can't use the selfie stick. But we'll see what we can do. It's strange. I can see them over the camera. There's about 4 or 5 of them here. But it's hard to see in the video, I'm afraid. Well, gotten one pretty close nearby. Fortunately, he's not paying that much attention to me, as he shouldn't. Meanwhile, right here, everybody's congregated to watch as the monkeys just make themselves at home in this hot spring. I imagine this looks real spectacular in January, covered with snow.
Oh, not a cat.
No, not a cat. They say you're never supposed to work with animals or children when you're filming, but I guess I can make an exception here. After all, they're what we came for. It impresses me, too, that they're sure-footed. They're not that far off from where the rock falls, and they could wind up in the rapids here. And they just seem very unconcerned about that. Maybe this is just life for them. I don't know. Again, I can see them when I look over the camera. I can barely spot them in the viewfinder. There they are. Making themselves perfectly comfortable. Just running around or standing around. Yeah, this is their home after all. We're just visiting and observing. Over my shoulder is a bridge that had me puzzled for a moment because I was like, why doesn't anybody go out there and take some photos? And then I realized it's roped off too. So yeah, we're restricted as far as where we can go within this park. Which, again, understandable. We don't want to disturb them in their home. You know, we're just guests here. Here we got a couple of them in more of the snow. Daniel points out that this would be a heck of a commute for someone. I mean, there are people who are working here. The ticket gate, the gift shop, all those other places. And to park your car and have to walk a better part of a mile up here every day, and then another mile back to your car afterwards, you've got to make this for quite the shift. On the other hand, it is a beautiful view out your office window, that's for sure. And that's not even counting the fact that you have the Japanese macaques that may come by every now and again. Got one swinging around in the tree here. Be careful you don't fall out, man. There you go. Oop. You meant to do that, right? Another thing Daniel was asking was, on the way up here, was whether this was all worth it. After a mile in one direction and now another mile back, honestly, I figure it's like the saying that I think that Japan has about Mount Fuji. One is a fool to pass up the opportunity to climb it, but one is a fool to keep climbing it multiple times. We've done this the one time, and we're good. It's necessary, and we've enjoyed what we've seen. That being said, I'm glad to be on our way back. Well, this is unexpected. We're going to head out. We are kind of stopped by...
Oh.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get close to it, and that's why. You better give the old boy some space while he guards the area. The old sentinel here. Not gonna lie, that made for an interesting send-off.